Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna, Sri Krishna. Gurur Brahma, Gurur Vishnu, Gurur Devo Maheshwaraha, Guru Sakshat Param Brahma, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha, Tasmai Shri Gurave Namaha. Whatever we are, thinking that we are walking the religious path, but we don't know exactly what we mean by that. Whether we talk about karma or we talk about yoga or we talk about upasana, it's not a path of devotion, it's a path of upasana and the path of knowledge. Now, for what we are doing and whom we expect the action to happen. See, like I go to so many houses. That is one of my professional hazards. So, when I go there, in some places they give simple plates, in some places they give the silver plates, some places they give golden plates. So, there was somebody with me. Always there is some kamandalu. Sannyasi hu na. So, kamandalu is there. So, one kamandalu asked me, Swamiji, when they give you food in this golden thali, what do you feel? I said, look here, I am interested only in eating. It doesn't matter what plate it is. Then why they do give? Be attentive. By giving me the golden thali to take food, they feel better, not me. See, when I have done something, the impact must come on me, is it not? Like we respect elders, we do namaskar chamatkar. So when we do namaskar to the elders are not benefited. The one who is offering namaskar, he is benefited. We go to Shiva temple and pour milk and honey and mango juice and every kind of thing. Do you think that Shiva is benefited? Is we are benefited. Now the next question comes, where the benefit lands? Is the benefit landing on the body? Is the benefit landing on the mind? Is the benefit landing on I? Where it is landing? See. So whatever we do or we don't do, the impact of that lands on the mind. And this is what we have never learned because we are never taught. We all have learned everything. How to make chapati, how to drive car, everything we are taught. But we have never been taught, nor did we learn to work on our mind. Working on the mind is an art of thinking. How to think. See. Now, our default settings are whatever is there, we come across, we only react. See? If something is beautiful, how beautiful it is. If something is bad, oh God. See? We have learned only one thing, and that is default setting. We react. And these reactions slowly keep on accumulating on our mind in the form of impressions. And these impressions are of two types. Something we like, something we don't like. And right from childhood onwards, this is the only default settings with which we are living every day. See, a small useless child, you give him milk, I don't want milk, I want coffee. Why you don't take milk? I don't like it. in this country, they don't say, I don't like it. They use a very delicate word. I hate it. So the net result is any interaction with anything or any being is adding this either the like or the dislike on our mind. As a result, slowly when we grow in our age, our mind is corrugated by two, not channels, but two valleys. One valley is that of likes, other valley is that of dislikes. Thereafter, whatever we do or we don't do, we are under the influence of our likes and dislikes. And as the age grows, these likes and dislikes, they become concretized. And they are unable to change. See, therefore many middle-aged people ask us, Swamiji, you know my mother, you know my father, this thing, blah, 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 what to do? So I tell them only one simple rule. Tolerate. You cannot change old people. You cannot. Because the likes and dislike channels have gone so deep. It is not their fault. Throughout life they have not learned. And we have also not learned. In short, we have got all the faculties, we have got everything, but now take the present example. We had the mic, we had everything, but we did not know how to use it. Is it not true in our life? We have the mind, we have the intellect, we have everything, scriptures, everything is available, but we don't know how to use it. See, now to such a simple thing, we have to learn from a qualified person in that field. But when it comes to studying scriptures, we are going to study Gita chapter 7. When it comes to studying scriptures, we imagine I put my leg on the table, take the Gita in hand, left hand is coffee, and then I say, what the hell they wrote in Sanskrit? Why not in English? And this is how we want to learn. See friends, Upanishad tells that Vijnanartham Gurumeva Vigachet Samitpanihi Shrotriyam Brahmanishtam. So what we have to learn? Very simple thing. Whenever we learn from our experience, impressions are not formed on the mind. This is the thumb rule. As a result, every experience of our life, from what we learn, with every additional experience, we will grow wise. About this, I'll tell you some examples. My guru is children, and especially the NRI children from America. They are my guru. Poor people have got only one guru by mistake. I got millions of them. So, in Mumbai this happened. I was with one of my friend. We are going out. And he has a daughter, very cute little daughter, maybe 8 years or so. I don't like peace. I like chaos, confusion. Then you will never be miserable because it is freely available. You want absolute peace, you will be absolutely miserable. You want absolute punctuality, you will be miserably miserable. If there is a chaos, you are happy because you like it. So, before leaving, I thought, when we come back, let there be some nice drama in the house. So I went to that girl. I said, hey, we are going out. Don't you ask your father to get something for you when we come back? Yes. Ask him something. Papa, when you come, please bring me chocolate, okay? You didn't bring me for last 2 times. Please bring. He said, okay, darling, I'll bring you. We went, whole day spent, we came back. I knew he has not purchased chocolate. Then I went home. I spoke to her. I said, hey, go and ask Papa, chocolate. She said, thank you, sorry. Papa, my chocolate? Oh, I forgot. Then I expected firework. But I was totally defeated. Coolly she went back to her room. I said, hey, your Papa did not bring anything. How come you are so cool? What reply she gave, She said, if he brings, then it is a surprise. If he doesn't bring, there is no surprise. I know him very well. Even the child can learn. See, my friends, the day this happens in our life, we are learning from every experience of life. We have stepped on the real spiritual path. Spirituality is not improving the world. See, even by taking God's darshan, nothing happens, I tell you with guarantee. In Srimad Bhagavad Mahapuran, there is a story. You all know that story, Dhruva Maharaj. He, at the advice of Naradji, did tapasya. Om Namo Bhagavate Vasudevaya, standing on one leg and doing pranayam, everything. Bhagwan got fed up, came. What do you want? Why are you troubling me? So he said, I want a place to stay, I know. Bhagwan said, you don't have to tell me. You will get a place, the kingdom of this world, and after that, kingdom of the North Pole. And Bhagwan disappeared. Did not stay for 1 second. Thereafter, if you read Bhagavad Mahapuran, there Dhruvaji became miserable. He became miserable for, I have seen God himself. And what did I ask? Like a Bihari happened to be in the White House. And he had the opportunity to talk to the president. You can ask anything you like, 3 minutes. Now he didn't know what to ask. He went there. So the secretary said, come on quickly, no time. So he was searching what to ask, what to ask. Finally he took out one dibbi, took out tobacco. And yes, what do you want? Chunwa hai kya? Now tell me, Dhruva has seen Bhagwan himself. What did he ask? See? Afterwards he was regretting. And then the story goes ahead. His stepbrother, Uttam, he was killed by the tribes in Badrinath. So Dhruvaji gets angry. And he goes and he wants to annihilate the total tribe. That time, Manuji Maharaj, devotee of the Lord, he tells Dhruva, Dhruva, you have seen Bhagwan Narayana himself. And this is your behavior. What people will say? Those who have seen God, they behave mad like you. See, if we are studying Bhagavad Gita, we lose the right to be miserable. Otherwise, yes, this happens in many houses. That mother is doing meditation early in the morning, 7 o'clock. And that is the time for everybody to do something or the other. And she is sitting quietly. And then in the bathroom, the tap leaks. And on a plastic bucket, the water drops. Tuck! Oh God, these children, tuck! How many times I told him, tuck! Meditation. And after some time, that water dropping stops. Again worry. Pani gaya? Meditation. My friends, This is the first principle of spiritual life. Stop reacting in life. Learn. See? And when the process of learning is initiated, from every experience we get a message. Kenopanishad Shruti tells, Pratibodha viditam matam. In every experience, the truth is revealed. I am talking to you, you are hearing sounds. In between, I am silent. Silence also you are experiencing. Then who are you? The one who is present in the presence of the sound and who is present in the absence of the sound. So who is this? He is the one who is not affected by presence or absence, and therefore beyond presence and absence. This is that. Kathopanishad, etadvaitat. Therefore, in the first 6 chapters, Bhagavad Gita prepares us. And what is the preparation? First of all, we must properly define our personality. Who am I? So, who are we? Mother, father, brother, sister, husband, wife, in-laws, outlaws. That. Now, next step. Whatever you are supposed to do it happily. Karma Yoga is not doing something to get happiness. Karma Yoga is whatever you have to do it happily. We must be the counter to distribute happiness in this world. Anandadeva kalvimani bhutani jayante, anandena jatani jivanti. Upanishad tells, we are the expressions of bliss. Why the blisters are coming in our life? Because we are reacting. If you don't have shoes, you don't get blisters. You put on the new shoe, it doesn't fit properly. After some time you get a blister. See? Therefore, first 6 chapters of Gita tell us that we are in this world only for one purpose. We have no purpose. Purpose he has. Like this mic. Mic has no purpose. It is lying down in a box. Then who has the purpose? The one who talks through the mic, he has the purpose. Now be attentive. We all know sometimes the mics also go spiritual. And they start their electronic onkar. Sometimes they clear their throat. So when the mic will start making his own noise, what we will do with that mic? Throw it away. You are not a fit instrument. In the same manner, Lord has the purpose. We have to be only a fit instrument. See, like this mic system, so many of us were there, but we were not a fit instrument to use it. So when the right person came, we requested him, he did it. In the same manner, whatever Lord wants to do, he is searching for a fit instrument. Those hands which are not busy in selfish activities. That speech which is not busy in condemning others and self-glorification. That mind which is not miserable. Through such an instrument, he expresses. And for that, the technique given in Bhagavad Gita, first 6 chapters is this. Whatever you have to do, let us find that as an opportunity to express happiness. Life will change. And whenever you do anything happily, you are not tired. You are not bored. See? Because you like it. You are doing it happily. In this manner, first 6 chapters spell out this principle of Karma Yoga. Then, second principle, he tells that whatever we are expressing, that expression should manifest as a divine sanction. And how it can happen? When this I factor is deleted. You know, you have got max factor, is it not? Max factor. In Vedanta or Upanishad or Gita, it is an I factor. You have to delete that I factor. So, in the 5th chapter, Bhagavan says, Naiva kinchit karomiti yukto manneta tattvavid. The wise person should not have that arrogance. I am doing, I am doing, I am doing. No. Everything is happening in His will. Put your efforts and relax. After this is done, in the 6th chapter, Bhagavan tells, to attain that, what is the yoga? See, many of us get lost in the yoga in a very funny manner. Either we waste our life in twisting the body. Twisting the body is not yoga. Straightening the mind is the yoga. See, otherwise do this asana, that asana. And you must be seeing, knowing also, most of the asanas are animal asana. Bhujangasana, Ushtrasana, Gardhabhasana. There is no human asana. Swamiji, you don't know anything. There is one human asana. Which is that? Shavasana. If you are studying Gita, change your definition of yoga. According to Bhagavad Gita, what is yoga? 6th chapter Bhagavan says, Tam vidya dukkha sanyoga viyogam yoga sajnitam. When the miseries come in our life, we refuse to be miserable. That ability to refuse to be miserable is yoga. Now be attentive. For practicing this yoga, you don't have to go to any ashram, any Himalayas, any school, any college, any yoga studio. Why? Facilities available at home. When you are living with your wife happily, you are the biggest yogi. Because tam vidya dukkha sanyoga. See? If you are happy because your wife is understanding, nice and creative, doesn't bother you, doesn't ask you anything, therefore you are happy. What is your contribution? But when she is, although kali karali cha bhayanaka cha, and yet you are happy, that is yoga. Tam vidya dukkha sanyoga viyogam. Refuse to be miserable in life. How to do that? Sa nishchayana yoktavyaha. Make this a firm resolution. I shall make miseries miserable. Don't become miserable. My friends, we can attribute miseries to some cause. And we all have default settings. If I am a husband, cause of my misery is my wife. If I am a father, the cause of my misery is my children. If I am a mother-in-law, cause of my misery is my daughter-in-law. So simple. See? Yes, you can attribute a cause, but we are all miserable by choice. Like, when you enter any country, particularly our US, they give you the immigration form. So many questions are asked there. Are you a member of active terrorist organization? Yes, no. Are you carrying deadly weapons on your person? Yes and no. Are you carrying some animal products? Yes or no. You are given a choice, is it not? They don't compel you. Yes and no. Exactly the same way. When we entered this world, Narayana gave us a form. And the form was, you are entering Anityam Asukham Lokam Imam Prapya. You are entering this temporary miserable world. Do you want to be miserable? Options are given, yes and no. Those who are tick mark, yes, Bhagavan will say, Tathastu. We are all miserable by choice. That is yoga. See, my friends, such a cheerful, happy, non-complaining person is able to learn. And we can learn this only if, be very attentive, if we have recognized the value for something. Whenever we complain, it is difficult, not possible. We have not recognized the value of this. See, for example, we all have value for money, is it not? Has anybody ever said, earning money is very difficult? I am not going to earn money. And it is difficult. See? Then what we do? We don't complain. Earning money is difficult. We find out our own techniques. Above the table, below the table, around the table, behind the table. Because we have value for money. Exactly the same way. When we will have value for the spiritual evolution, you will drop all your difficulties. Then you start working on it. Like most of the people, they have got this funny problem. Swamiji, whenever I sit for meditation, too many bad thoughts come. What should I do? Complain. Children ask questions. Old people complain. See, complaining is not the solution. You find out. See, but we have no. See, whenever I sit meditation, why dirty thoughts come? Because of meditation. Then don't do meditation. But my guru told, do meditation, then do. But then the thoughts come, then don't do. Complain, complain, complain. This is one of the reasons I do not entertain question answer sessions in my life. 99% questions are only complaints. And they come, but how it is possible? So one place I gave this reply. Should we jump into the water without knowing swimming? No, of course. You should not jump. But without jumping into the water, can you learn swimming? No. Then what to do? Then write notes on swimming. And get a PhD on swimming. But stand outside. In one place, me, my friend, his wife and his son, hardly 1 year or 2 years. We went to a swimming pool. I know swimming. His wife knows swimming. We were in the pool. And a small child, 2 years, he knew swimming, very nicely enjoying. And my friend, I said, come on, you also come. No, Swamiji, I cannot swim. It's very difficult for me. I said, apne bachche se seekh. A 2 years child is swimming and you can't swim. No, the water goes in my mouth and nose. Naturally, when you are in the waters, milk will not go. We complain. Stop complaining in life. Then we learn. And to such a student who has become qualified, to him Bhagavan Sri Krishna gives now the knowledge, wisdom that will lead to pure love. Upasana happens outside. devotion happens inside. Upasana is done. Devotion happens. But normally we use the term, I am doing devotion. मैं भक्ति करता हूं. What is bhakti? जो भागती है, टिकती नहीं. See friends. And therefore, here the teacher gives us first the foundation of devotion. The basic difference I'll tell you, then we enter the subject matter. A boy and a girl, they love each other. I love him, I love her. Here the word love is a verb. It is an action. And every action has a reaction. Isn't it? And anything which begins in time must end in time. So they love each other, then they fall in love. That fall is called as marriage. And after some time, because it was an action, it ends. Because love was a verb. Now make love as an experience, a noun. The mother loves the child. See the difference? Therefore, the mother doesn't fall in love, she rises in love. Exactly the same way. Upasana is outside activity, but devotion happens in the heart. And when devotion happens, we don't fall like the mother doesn't fall. See, friends. Therefore, how this devotion can be happening in our heart, that we have to learn. Bhagavan Sri Krishna begins. Mai asakta manaha partha yogam yunjan madashrayah asamshayam samagram mam yatha jnasasi tat sruno. Mai asakta mana. To what we are attached? Attachment to the divine means non-attachment to the devil. It's very simple. Take this example. Listen to silence. So when you are listening to silence, what you are doing? You are indifferent to the sounds. Indifference to the sounds is listening to silence. But if, in our effort to listen to silence, if we get disturbed by this ambient voice, noise, or somebody coming and going, something has fallen down, made a huge noise, if that is disturbing us, then we are not listening to silence. Therefore, when Bhagavan says, Mai asakta manaha, be attached to me, means what? Be totally detached from the world. The world has always been like this. See? And how to do that? By two techniques, very simple techniques. Don't involve your possessions and your relations in your talk. Whenever we talk to others, we talk only on these two topics, possessions and relations. And that defines our personality. Mai asakta manaha, those who are devoted to me, they have no topic of the world. Like, many people send us WhatsApp. Now these days some election thing is going on in India and all that. Here also, sorry, what is your opinion? I said, I have no opinion. We have to decide what I want in my life. See? Mai asakta manaha. See, friends. Nothing, and that asakti for the Lord is called as a devotion. And devotion to the world is called as asakti. When our love takes us dogward, it is asakti. When our love takes us Godwards, it is devotion. Maya asakta mana partha yogam yunjan madashraya. And then, not only simply saying, if God is there, He will take care. Definitely He will take care. But then, you will become a weakling. Allow Him to express through you. Therefore, yogam yunjan madashrayaha. Be perfected in yoga. Now, what is this yoga we have seen? According to Bhagavad Gita, refuse to be miserable. One example I'll tell you. One husband came to me and he said, Swamiji, I am extremely miserable because of my wife. Please guide me. What should I do? Now, I deal this case in two ways. One as a Mahatma and one as a CH Atma. You know, CH Atma, Chota Atma. So, as a Mahatma, I deal this case. Look here, my dear friend, think properly. You are miserable because of your wife, yes. Now tell me, who are you? Husband. Good. Now tell, husband is a common noun or a proper noun? Husband is a common noun. Any dumb getting married to any dumbo is called as husband, is it not? There is no qualification required to become a husband. I have defined this word, this husband word is from Hindi, but people have adopted in English. Husband means जिसकी हंसी बंद हो गई है. You are laughing here, laugh before your wife. हिम्मत है? See, friends. So, husband is a common noun, yes. Then what does it mean? It means every husband is miserable. Then, if you are miserable, what is great about it? Oh, every husband? Yes, every husband is miserable. Then it's okay. He is out of that misery. I went to Swamiji and he really helped me. Now the same case I deal the other way around. See? Swamiji, I am very miserable because of my wife. Please guide me. Now I talk as a CH Atma. Yeah, you are miserable because of wife. I am also miserable. Nobody marries me. Will anybody call me a Mahatma? Mahatma loses his right to be miserable. That doesn't mean he doesn't have miseries. We don't know. You put on the shoes of others, then you will know where it bites. See, friends, yogam yunjan madashraya, this is the yoga. Difficulties will come. Difficulties don't come only to one thing, and that is a dead body. But complain, that becomes second nature. Like me, so many places. One Punjabi house, old lady. I mean, my knee is in too much of pain. Why this is happening? Complain. Then I ask, I say, Mama, you answer my questions. Yes. Question is, you reply and don't argue. Okay? Okay. Why God has given us ears? Swamiji, do you think I am a baby? I said, yes, you are a baby. You answer question, argue mat karo. Okay, God gave us ear for hearing. Very good. Why God has given us eyes to see? Yes. In the same manner, God has given us knees to pain in the old age. See? Complain. Yogam yunjan madashraya. And madashraya, our support is Paramatma. See, take refuge in Him. And if we are the devotees of the Lord, we lose our right to be miserable. Many people have got this notion. Devotion means crying. दर्शन दो घन श्याम, मेरी आंखों में कैटरेक्ट आ गया है. Useless. He told me, those people who go crying in front of him, he doesn't talk to them. Next. Do we like somebody constantly complaining and crying? We don't like. Same also the Lord also doesn't like. We are here only for expressing happiness. There is no other purpose of human life. God realization. क्या करोगे afterwards? Therefore, Yogam Junjan Madashraya, then Asamshayam Samagram Mam Yatha Jnasasi, such a happy person alone can understand the truth, not a miserable person. In this chapter only Bhagavan says, Chaturvidha bhajante mam jana sukritino arjuna arto jidnyasu arthati jnani cha bhartarshava tesham jnani nitya yuktaha. 4 types of people come to me, and among them, Jnani, the wise one, is ever abiding in me, and he is my own being. Meaning what? The Lord is searching an instrument to express through. Don't we do the same thing? See? Suppose I want a cup of tea or something to eat. I won't go and ask Ajit. I'll ask his wife. Because she gives me. If I ask Ajit, he will say, Acha Samji, let us go to McDonald's. I must know whom to ask what. Don't we do this? See, friends, in the same manner, he is searching for a right person to whom to give the job. Therefore, asamshayam samagram mam yatha jnasasi, how you will be able to know me completely, asamshayam, without any doubt. We have got all the doubts. And samagram. Samagram means completely. What is the meaning of complete understanding? Be very attentive. In Upanishad, this mantra comes. Dehabhimane galite vijñate paramatmani yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra samadaya. Vidyate hridaya granthi chhidyante sarva samshayaha kshiyante chasya karmani tasmin drishte paravare. These 2 mantras tell. First, vidyate hridaya granthi, wrong notions are destroyed. Chidyante sarva samshayaha, no doubt is left. And third, kshiyante chasya karmani, all the problem of karma disappear. When? Tasmin drishte paravare. When we are able to recognize divinity manifest as well as unmanifest. Both ways. That is the complete understanding. To such a person, what happens? Yatra yatra mano yati tatra tatra samadhaya. Such a master is living 24/7 in meditation. Because he is abiding in him. Nay, he is expressing through that great master. Okay. Then the teacher says, Jnanam teham savidjnanam idam vakshami asheshataha yajñatva neha bhuyonyad jnatavyam avashishyate. Jnanam teham savidjnanam vakshami asheshata. Asheshataha, completely, I won't reserve anything. And not only the knowledge, but also the technology, how to apply that knowledge in day-to-day life. I shall tell you both. Otherwise, we are expert in the basic sciences, but applied science is zero. Therefore, here, jnanam teham savidjnanam idam asheshataha and yajñatva neha bhuyonyat. Having known which, nothing remains to be known in this world. This is what is to be known. In the 15th chapter, Bhagavan Sri Krishna says, Sarvasya chaham hridhi sannimishtaha mattaha smriti jnanam apohanancha vedaisha sarvai ahameva vidyaha sarvaihi vedaihi ahameva vidya. The purpose of all the scriptures, Vedas, is to know who is this I. See? And there Bhagavan tells toward the end, Etad buddhva buddhiman syat krutakrutyasya bharata. He who thus comes to discover this, experience this as his own being, the net result is krutakrutyasya bharata. He attains fulfillment in life. What is the fulfillment in life? There are no loose ends. See? Like we went for a retreat, Sedona. When everything was done, we packed our bags, everything is done, let's move. Fulfillment. In the same manner, our bags are ready to leave this world and go back to our own home. We are here for a retreat. Wherever we go, we are there for a short, it's a vacation. We find peace only when we go back home. See, therefore, this fulfillment in life is the goal of our life. Therefore, yajñātva neha bhūyonya jnātavyam avashishyate. Knowing this, everything becomes known. In Mundaka Upanishad, the student asked this question, that Kasminno bhagav vidyate sarvedam vidyatam bhavati iti. O teacher, tell, having known which, how one comes to know everything. So the teacher explains, there are two things to be known. See? Dve vidye veditavye para chaiva paracha. Para and apara vidya. Apara vidya, the manifest world. Para vidya, Paramatma, the unmanifest reality. And there the teacher says, Rigveda, Samaveda, Yajurveda, Atharva Veda, Shiksha, Kalpa, Vyakaranam, Niruktam, Chandam, Jyotishamiti, these four Vedas and six Shadanga, they fall in the purview of the Apara Vidya. And Para Yaya Tat Aksharam Adhigamyate. Para Vidya is that by which you come to discover your divine self. Both are important. Knowing the Aparavidya is for rejecting it. And knowing the Paravidya is for asserting it. Vidhi Nisheda. Spiritual life has these two aspects. What we are not, we reject it. And what we are, we assert it. It's not only one way. See? Therefore, I shall tell you this and nothing more remains to be known. Now here Bhagavan also knew. He tells, Manushyanam sahasreshu kasyadi yaditi siddhe yatatam api siddhanam kasyin mam vetti tattvataha. Manushyanam sahasreshu, according to Sanskrit grammar, sahasreshu means a minimum 3,000. Behind, rather, among 3,000, there is but one, he who is wanting to walk this path. So suppose you are here, 60, 70 of you. So behind each one of you, there are 3,000 people sitting. Therefore, my audience is, you are the actual audience, and YouTube, they are my virtual audience. So I am not only addressing you, but Manushyanam sahasreshu, thousands and thousands of people are in this world, but very few, they are really wanting to walk this path. And further he says, Yatatam api siddhanam, and those who are putting efforts, again, they are also millions. Kaschin mam vetti tattvataha. Rare indeed is the one who comes to discover my essential nature, the Lord says. Oh God, it is so difficult. Thank God you told. I think I'll change the subject. Like here the students, they go for economics. No, I think I won't be able to. Let me do medicine. They want medicine, I think. Let me take a break for a year. This is very typical of the children over here. See? They are unable to be committed to something. And therefore, sometime they will be going to this place. Ganga gaye to Ganga Das, Jamna gaye to Jamna Das, Ghar aaye to Dev Das. We have to be committed to the truth, to the exclusion of everything. Then only the truth is revealed. Upanishad says, Yamai Vesha Vrunute Tena Labhyaha Tasesha Atma Vivrunate Tanum Swam. He who seeks the truth to the exclusion of everything, to him only the truth is revealed. Ramcharitmanas, Bhai Prakata Krupala Dina Dayala. Bhagwan reveals himself in this manner. Kashin Maam Veti Tattvataha. So what we have to understand? We have to understand it is so important. But instead of that, we understand the other way. Oh God, very good, you told it is very difficult. I am not. No, not like that. It means, like, many people ask this question to us. Swamiji, it is okay for you to keep on saying, be happy, be happy. Get married and show how to be happy. Meaning what? They want a reservation quota for the married people in realization. It is not a government job. See, what is the government job? Those who are good for nothing, they are fit for a government job. See, in one place they asked me, Swamiji, who are these Brahmana Kshatriya? I said, Brahman are those who have left India and settled outside because they get something to do creatively. Who are Kshatriyas? Kshatriyas are the politicians. Who are the Vaishyas? Those who are selling the country. And who are Shudras? Government servants. See? Therefore, if I am a Grihastha, it is not a qualification. Then what does it mean? Put more efforts. And therefore, we take this as a challenge. Yes, in this very life, we can attain. Then, from here, the teacher starts telling the knowledge. What is the truth? Bhumirapo nalo vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankara iti yamme bhinna prakritirashtadha apara iyam etasvanyam prakritim viddime param jiva bhuta mahabaho yayedam dharyate jagat etad yonini bhutani sarvani ityupadharaya aham krishnasya jagataha prabhava pralayastata mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya mai sarvamadam protam sutre manigana iva. These four shlokas give us complete knowledge what is to be known by us. Beyond this, there is nothing to be known. See. First, the teacher says, this is my Ashtadha Bhinna Prakriti. This is my eightfold differentiated Prakriti, the matter. Which are those? The five great elements. The space, the air, the fire, the water and the earth. So, Bhumirapo Nalo Vayu Kham. Then Manaha, the mind. Then Buddhi, the intellect. And Ahankar. So, 8 of them. This is my Apara Prakriti. Apara means the matter. Okay. Now the second thing. Apara iyam itastu anyam. Other than this Apara Prakriti, there is another Prakriti and Viddhime Param, that is called a Para Prakriti. So there are now two Prakritis, Apara Prakriti and Para Prakriti. And further, what is that Para Prakriti? It is only one. Apara Prakriti is eightfold and Para Prakriti is only Jiva Bhutam, only one. Mahabaho here, Arjun, Yaya idam jagat dharyate, because of which this world is sustained. First I'll just tell you in simple way, then we'll go into depth. Then, etad yonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya. From this jiva bhuta prakriti, this whole world is created and sustained, and I am the third principle. Aham krishnasya jagataha prabhava pralayastata. I am the creator, sustainer, and the dissolver of this whole world. So here we have come across three principles. One is the matter. Second is the expression of Paramatma through the matter. And third is the Paramatma as a cause and Paramatma as an effect. Be very attentive. An example will make it clear. Take a bucket of water and in that bucket, keep it outside, the sun will reflect. Okay, this is a very simple example. It will make everything clear. Now that bucket is the container. In that bucket, the sun will not reflect. Only the bucket will be known in the light of the sun. Then in that water, there will be reflection of the sun. The reflection will not fall in ordinary bucket. Then, third principle. From that reflection disk in the waters, another source of light will come out. So how many lights are there? First, general sunlight in which the bucket is known. Second, that part of the light which was reflected in the waters. Third, reflection of the sun in the waters. Fourth, the light came from the reflected disk. Where sun cannot reach, there reflected disk can reach, you can make it there. If this is clear, in the same manner, Ashtadha Prakriti is like the bucket with the water. So the five great elements, then Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar. Then this Mana, Buddhi, Ahankar in the Buddhi, in the intellect, the consciousness reflects as Chidabhasa, reflection of the consciousness, and because of that, the second, Jiva Bhuta, a phenomena happens. What are the phenomena? From there a light came. Exactly the same way. Like in the bulb, there is reflection of electricity as a light. Now, this reflection of electricity as a light in a bulb is a general phenomenon. It is not limited to one particular bulb. Exactly the same way. Any body, in that body, the consciousness expresses as life. So life is a common principle. But because there are many bulbs, we say there are many lights. No, light is one. Bulbs are many. Exactly the same way. There are many bodies, agreed. But life is one. Instead of understanding life as a life, we take life as a soul. In Sanskrit, it means, soul means jiva. And life means jiva na. Na means not. See, friends. So what is our personality? Paramatma expressing through us as life. And therefore, when one bulb becomes fused, nothing happens to other bulbs and lights. Exactly the same way. If life departs from my body, nothing will happen to life. When the bulb becomes fused, where will be the light from the bulb go? To other bulb. Nothing happens like death. मरने भी नहीं देते. You cannot die. This is the knowledge. And we all suffer, never because of death. We all suffer because of fear of death. Suppose I die here now. I have no problem. You will have problem. How to dispose of this fellow now? Yahi marna tha. He has to die here only. See, therefore, this is how the Prakriti Ashtadha is the media in which reflection of Paramatma is Para Prakriti or the Jiva Bhuta Prakriti. Like bodies are many, but life is one. Apara Prakriti is Ashtadha, भूमिरापो नलो vayu kham mano buddhirevacha ahankar iti amme binna prakritirashtada. And jiva bhuta, in every body, principle of life is same. It's not different. This principle we have to learn. Listening will not help. I tell you how I learned. This example I given. In Delhi it happened. It was a rainy day. I was sitting near in the veranda, evening time, tube lights on, and enjoying my cup of tea. And it so happened that so many insects came for the tube light. So there was a small little lizard. And she came, oh, good dinner. And she was thinking whether I should take this dish first or that dish first. Just thinking. And by the time she can think of eating, another big lizard came. So the first lizard, of whom the insects were afraid, so when she goes to eat the insect will run away. Big lizard came to attack the small lizard ran away. I was watching that. Then I thought this big lizard will trouble me probably. So I had a nice cup of tea, I took a stick and wanted to remove that big lizard. So I took the stick there. The big lizard also got afraid. She also ran away. And because of that small lizard fell on my hand, I also ran away. Expression of life is common. Kama, krodha, lobha, moha, mada, matsarya. It's common. The satiation of hunger by eating good food and the satiation of hunger by eating the insects, by these birds, is same. My friends, life-wise we are one. But we are so lost in this wrong understanding of life. See, if I had to get, suppose by heart operation, thank God, one Amma told me, Swamiji, you are lucky, you will never get heart attack. Thank you. You didn't ask how. I said, okay, tell how. You don't have heart, you are a heartless person. See, so if I had to get my heart operated, will I go and search for a doctor? Doctor, excuse me, are you Bharadwaj Gotri? Because I am Bharadwaj, so I can have the doctor who has got Bharadwaj Gotra, he only can operate me. No! Friends, life-wise we are one. Come to this point. That is Bhagwan, the 7th chapter. Therefore, here he says, Etat yonini bhutani sarvani tyupadharaya. When Prakriti and Purusha, when they come together, then only the world happens. Only in electricity there is no light. Only in the bulb there is no light. Only in Paramatma there is no samsara. Only in Prakriti there is no samsara. When Paramatma, Prakriti come together, this samsara happens. Therefore, in this samsara, Paramatma alone is the reality. See, in this phenomena of light through bulb, electricity is the reality. And electricity is not created. Energy is never created and matter cannot be destroyed. Therefore, Paramatma is not created, the eternal presence. And when that eternal presence is expressing through the Prakriti, Ashtadha Prakriti, life happens. But unfortunately, Jivana is mistaken by us as Jiva. Jiva is a Vyakti, individuality. Jivana is a Abhivyakti, manifestation. All the great saints and sages, those who are abiding in this experience, they discover happiness in sharing with all the people. Because they are not giving to others, they are giving to themselves. And friends, you also have the same experience. How? When a mother gives something to her child, she feels more satisfied than herself indulging in it. Because She is not limiting herself only to her body, because the child is my own extension. Wise people, this world is nothing but my own extension. Mayeva sakalam jatam, Mai sarvam pratishtitam, Mai sarvam layam yati, tad brahmadvayam asmya. And therefore, aham krishnasya jagataha prabhava pralayastatha. When I is there, then only the world is there. When an old man asked me this question, Swamiji, don't make fun of me. I said, there is no need. You are self-sufficient. My question is, I am afraid what will happen after I die to my property, etc., etc. I said, look here. When I is not there, my wife has no existence. When I is not there, my property has no existence. Extension of I in a limited sphere is samsara. Extension of I in the absolute is Paramatma. See, I, one. When I talk, I become a speaker. When I eat, I become an eater. When I walk, I become a walker. So in and through, everything, I am alone. Exactly the same way, when we come to this absolute, then the relatives are accepted as they are. Aham krishnasya jagataha prabhava pralayastatha. After having said this, then last and the most important principle Bhagavan says, Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya, Mai sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. Hey Dhananjaya, hey Arjun, all that I told you is your experience. Now, know my experience. Bhagavan says, Mattaha parataram. Parataram means superior. Superior means cause. There is no cause of me. Mattaha parataram. Na anyat. There is nothing other than me. Na kinchit. Kinchit means effect. There is no effect of me. That means I am beyond cause and effect. In short, other than me, there is nothing. The water tells, other than me, nothing else is. Waves will say, no, ocean is my guru, ocean is my cause, I am the effect. From the water's point of view, there is no ocean, there is no wave, there are no clouds, there are no rivers, only water. From Paramatma's point of view, only one absolute reality. And therefore, the real spiritual practice is change your vision from the relative and merge in the absolute. And when we look at the world from the absolute standpoint, then this world is most beautiful. See? But from the relative standpoint, nothing but problems and complaints. Therefore, Mattaha parataram nanyat kinchidasti dhananjaya sarvamidam protam sutre maniganaiva. And how this world is existing? Like this garland. You may call it as a garland, but if I break the thread and separate the flowers and thread, it will be the same. Now, where the garland has gone? Nowhere. Because it didn't exist. Then what it is? It is only an appearance. It is something like the golden beads put together by a golden thread, and it is called a necklace. So the same gold is support, and the same gold is supported, and an illusion of a necklace happens. Therefore, from my side, I am the absolute, I am the relative, and I am beyond them. Become subjective. I as a man, son, husband and father with reference to three conditioning. So what I will say, they are in me, but I am not in them. From man's point of view, these three guys don't exist. From three guys' point of view, they are all man. The son is a man, husband is a man, the father is a man. The moment we change our vision, in short, study of scripture is meant only for changing our vision. And the change is get out of the relative standpoint and merge in the absolute. In the relative world, there cannot be absolute happiness. In the absolute being, there is no misery at all. See, friend, this is 7th chapter of Gita. Come to discover this. And the most important thing is, there is no proxy on the spiritual path. We have to live our life, we have to die our death, we have to lead our spiritual life. It is by the one, to the one, all alone, without becoming lonely in life. It's not a path of crowd. It merge in absolute. And once this is clear, then one day by God's grace, you will be able to see this divinity in and through every experience. For example, when we go to sleep, exactly what we do? We give up the relative. I have no possessions, no relations. I am nobody. I am nowhere. Meaning what? All the factors which create the relativity, those factors are dropped. But we continue to exist. This sleeping while you are awake is called a Jivan Mukti, liberated while alive. After having given this knowledge, then the teacher will tell how do you perceive this divinity in and through the whole world. That he will tell us. Let us leave it for tomorrow. Om Purnamadaha Purnamidam Purnaat Purnamudachyate Purnasya Purnamadaya Purnamevavashishyate. Om Shanti Shanti Shanti. Harihi Om. Shri Gurubhyo Namaha. Harihi Om.